Sometimes, the most dangerous things in life are not loud arguments or open conflicts, but the quiet words spoken in trust. A single sentence, shared softly, can begin a chain of events no one ever intended. This story is not about shouting or anger. It is about silence being broken at the wrong time, in front of the wrong ears. It is about how something small, almost harmless, can slowly turn into something deadly. And it leaves us with a question worth asking: how carefully do we choose our words, and whom do we trust with them? In a quiet countryside, where green fields stretched wide and the days followed a simple rhythm, life moved slowly and peacefully. Mornings began with soft light, evenings ended in calm silence, and every creature knew its role. There was no rush, no chaos, only routine and balance. Among this calm life existed a hardworking soul, one who never demanded attention or praise. Day after day, the work was done honestly, without complaint, driven by duty rather than reward. Trust filled the air, and nothing seemed out of place, as if nothing bad could ever grow in such a peaceful setting. The horse was known for his strength and loyalty. From sunrise to sunset, he worked without rest, carrying heavy loads, serving faithfully, asking for nothing in return. His body bore the marks of effort, tired legs, an aching back, but his spirit remained quiet and sincere. Inside him, there was no anger, no desire to escape responsibility. There was only exhaustion, both physical and emotional. As night fell, his thoughts became softer, slower. He did not dream of rebellion. He simply wished for one gentle pause, one day of lighter work, one moment to breathe without pain. One evening, in a moment of honesty, the horse allowed his guard to fall. A small cat approached him, curious and friendly, asking why he looked so tired. There was no frustration in his voice when he answered, no bitterness in his words. He calmly shared a simple thought, that maybe tomorrow, he could ask for a little rest. Nothing more. Nothing dangerous. Just a quiet truth spoken without fear. The words left his mouth gently, unaware that once released, they would no longer belong to him. But words, once spoken, rarely stay the same. The cat, meaning no harm, carried the thought to another, adding a little color, a little assumption. The story moved from one listener to the next, and with every retelling, the truth became thinner. Rest turned into refusal. Tiredness became complaint. A simple wish slowly transformed into dissatisfaction. Each listener added their own fear, their own interpretation, their own imagination. By the time the words traveled across the farm, they no longer sounded innocent. They sounded dangerous. Suspicion replaced understanding, and tension quietly grew where trust once lived. Eventually, the distorted story reached authority. There was no pause to question it, no effort to verify the truth. Emotion took control, fueled by fear and misunderstanding. The response was swift and final. That night, a decision was made without hearing the other side, without seeking clarity. The action was irreversible. Silence filled the stable once again, but this time, it was heavier, colder, and permanent. The horse was gone before the sun could rise, leaving behind only unanswered questions. Only later did the truth become clear. The horse had never planned to leave. He had never spoken of betrayal. His only mistake was trusting the wrong ears with a fragile thought. The real tragedy was not his exhaustion, but the way his honesty was twisted beyond recognition. Words had traveled faster than facts, and rumors had spoken louder than truth. By the time understanding arrived, it had nowhere to go. This story reflects a brutal truth about human nature. Gossip rarely begins with cruelty, but it often ends there. People do not repeat words exactly as they hear them. They reshape them through fear, insecurity, and assumption. In families, workplaces, and friendships, the same pattern repeats. Trust shared too freely can turn into regret. Silence, when chosen wisely, can be protection. Emotional intelligence is not only about speaking, but knowing when not to. So remember this lesson. Not every thought needs a voice, and not every listener deserves your truth. Choose wisdom over impulse. Guard your words as carefully as your heart. If this story made you reflect, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and stay connected for more stories that reveal the quiet truths of life. Sometimes, silence is not weakness, it is survival.